Welcome to the Pakistan Cricket Podcast, Episode 17, live Pakistan-India T20i World Cup preview with music, food and memories. So welcome to the 3 people watching us, or how many other people there are. It doesn't matter as long as we're having fun. So this is a special episode with the Pakistan-India game about to start in Melbourne. Hopefully, looks like it's sunny there, so fingers crossed that is happening. And me trying to do this live YouTube thingy for the first time, fingers crossed that goes okay. I should have 4 brilliant guests. I was about to say I have 4 brilliant guests with me. I have 3. Hassan Hussain Qureshi isn't here yet. I hope he hasn't forgotten the time. I did give him 4 different times by mistake, so maybe he got confused, but fingers crossed he will join us. But we have Asad from the legendary Paces Pace Yar podcast. We have Zainab Razvi, who has been a co-host here on the Pakistan Cricket Podcast several times. And CD, or the other Asad, from the Cover Drive podcast. We'll be talking about game, feels, food, memories. How are you all? Sleepy, tired, excited? What are the feels?
All of the above.
Yeah, I've been baiting Indians for the last 3 hours, so I am like, I'm ready to go, man. You gotta win this. मैंने इतनी तीलियां लगा दी हैं कि अब अगर हार गए तो मतलब कि 2 महीने तक मुंह छुपाना पड़ेगा बेसिकली. जो 2011 में मैंने काम किया था मैंने वही फिर से कर दिया और मैंने नहीं सीखा अपनी गलतियों से.
सारी कश्तियां जला दी हैं.
सारी कश्तियां जलाती हैं basically. Yes.
I just wanted to say one quick warning, in case anybody is rude here. I will be playing this.
That's against the spirit of podcasting.
This is from the previous episode. Don't mess with Melinda Farrow. I'm going to try and use as many clips from the previous episodes as possible. She actually said that against me, but I'm going to use it against the rest of you. Is the YouTube link not working? Oh, it says for me it is. That's weird. Damn, that's weird. Okay.
Let me check.
I will give this link instead. Wait.
Yeah, it says that it's scheduled, but it hasn't started for me as well.
Does this one work?
Oh, yes,
Let
this
me
one
check.
works. Yes.
I will give this link instead. Wait.
Yeah, it says that it's scheduled, but it hasn't started for me as well.
Does this one work? All right, so that should be better. So I wanted to begin with a dose of nostalgia. Give me one story of an India-Pakistan World Cup game from the past. I've told you all that mine is going to be a painful one, but I'm curious what yours are first. So why don't you start us off, Asad bhai, with a World Cup, Pakistan-India World Cup memory?
Yeah, 96 Bangalore. I think so. Basically, पहली innings तो बड़ी अच्छी गई थी. खैर अच्छी तो नहीं गई थी. बीच में हो गया था. Second innings, my dad actually had this sheet out, and he had written out 300 balls on that sheet, like 1, 1, 1, 1, like for every ball. And he was like, I don't know how it made sense to him, but he was crossing out every ball. He would cross out 1 ball from that list. It was his way of dealing with the tension of an India-Pakistan game. And for me, that was so instructive. I was like, okay, my dad is like stressed out about something like this. I've never seen him stressed out and I had never seen him stressed out in his life. And this was the first time I saw him. It was like an India-Pakistan game. And for me, that was the first India-Pakistan game. It was like, okay, this is a fucking big deal. So yeah, that's probably the most revealing memory for me. Something that I vividly remember still.
Zainab?
Yeah, I guess itni sari hain, but I would stick with the last year game because that's the only positive one. Others are all like Duk and Sadma, and I've tried to minimize how much I remember all of them. But the 2003 World Cup, the first innings, we played really well. Saeed Anwar made a century, so and I don't remember कौन सा time of the year था, but we watched it the entire family together. So जो भी सदमा था और coping mechanism था, कितनी जल्दी भी like 5 over में ही chase in Sachin Tendulkar, and it was like फिर Sachin Tendulkar, right? 96 में भी. I mean, I was like, this was the third time I think he won the third time was in 2015. So second time था 92 के बाद that he won the man of the match in India Pakistan finals. So yeah, I guess that was a memory of me watching it together with my family. So that's how I really like it. But last year was really good because of course the positive result, but at the start of the game, my younger sister went to hospital. She was about to have the kid, my niece. So throughout the
Wow.
game, she was in labor, and just towards the end, she had a daughter. And I pushed for her to name her something after like Shahina Raklo Naam, but she was like, "No, are you crazy? That's not happening." So, but she was really relieved कि भाई शुक्र है कि मैच जीत गए, वरना सारी उम्र बच्ची का बर्थडे वो दिन रहता जिस दिन फिर मैच हार गए थे. आई वाज लाइक नहीं नहीं, तुम्हारी बेटी तो बहुत मतलब शी इज द गुड ओमेन. फाइनली हमने इतने सालों बाद इंडिया को वर्ल्ड कप में हरा दिया द डे योर डॉटर वाज बोर्न. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट्स रियली हैप्पी मेमोरी फॉर मी, लास्ट ईयर्स मैच.
And CD, I think your earliest memories must have been the worst. It wasn't just losing to India, it was also just being terrible at World Cups in general, no?
हाँ, यानी मेरा फर्स्ट ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप तो 2007 का था, तो दैट टेल्स यू ऑल यू नीड टू नो अबाउट माय अर्ली एक्सपोजर. मैंने तो इंडिया को भी यार लाइक not to call you guys old, but at least आप लोगों ने वो शारजा एरा
Except you just did, but thank you. Yeah, sure.
लेकिन आप लोगों ने फिर भी वो शारजा एरा देखा था जहाँ पे we would still get the upper hand every now and then, right? But like I've mostly lived through us being mediocre against India. I remember my first exposure was 2004 या 5 में जो series थी, and I barely remember anything from that because I was just a kid. But World Cups में again only good memory is last year. The most vivid memory I'll have is 2007 का T20 World Cup final जो मैंने आप लोग को before we got on बताया था कि after Misbah played that scoop, मैंने रूम में जाके चीजें फेंकना शुरू कर दिया था. Proper tantrum शुरू हो गया था मेरा. I was only like 8 years back then, so I think that fits the bill for someone that age, how they react to a loss. But I'm gonna cheat a bit and talk about 2017. But क्योंकि
Go.
like I remember for a good 24 hours, it was impossible to wipe the smile off my face. I used to live in an area of Sharjah जहाँ पे South Asian population was like just like I would say 60-70% Indian. तो मैं तो मजे से अपनी पाकिस्तान जर्सी लेके पूरी एरिया में वॉक पे निकल गया, घूमा, and like just smiling with the biggest smile on my face. बहुत मजा आया. Like it was the time of I to this day, like I'm not even saying this unironically, but if anyone asks me like what's the best day of your life, I will always say 2017 final, like best day of my life, hands down.
Yeah, I mean that was a great one. Mine is also 2007 actually. It wasn't my first World Cup, by the way. That was 92 that I remember. But it's my best friend is French, and that World Cup, weirdly enough, he actually understood how cricket worked. He used to like come in and smugly look at the score and be like, that's doable, the chase or whatever, just to indicate that as a French person, he knew how cricket worked, and he's very proud of that. But I'd forgotten how much French football meant to him, and he didn't understand how much in Pakistan versus India cricket meant to me. So the World Cup before, in the football World Cup, when Zidane headbutted the Italian defender, and then they lost the World Cup final, I called him in his home phone and laughed at him just to indicate, just to be annoying. In this one, we were in university in the UK, in like a bar full of mostly Indian fans, some Pakistani fans, and when Misbah hit that scoop shot, he, my best friend, in a very, very pro-India, like place, started jumping up and down in front of my face and laughing at me. And I was so mad I didn't speak to him for a long time. And I think that's when he realized, yeah, you don't do that like in this situation. So my comeback was when this is against a football thing, when his favorite player, Nicolas Anelka, missed a penalty and Man United, my team, won. And my friend and I literally jumped on his face. Like we literally jumped on his face. And that was, yeah. So 2007 Miss Scoop was my thing as well. Sadly, Hassan Bhai is not here. But I think we're gonna move on to the section. We're gonna stick to vibes and feels. So we did a bit of nostalgia. We'll go to vibes and feels. This is a short. I didn't warn you, Asad Bhai, but this is a short clip from the Paces Pacer episode, which you were in, and it hits on the vibes and feels bit with you and Zainab. So have a listen.
Do any of those questions involve a face-off between Zainab and Asad as like the uber super Pakistani fan, like the emo uber?
Yeah, who can be more optimistic?
Because if it doesn't, then I'm off the course. There has to be like some face-off about who can reminisce about MS Azad or maybe Khurram Manzoor. Or
that's how it's
a bit more.
Yeah. Because I think Asad has a lot in the tank. Asad, you want to start off with like Khurram Manzoor?
All the feels in the world.
So, and I think it's a much longer clip, but there also goes on to the fact that you two have the emo fandom. So I was curious if you two could start us off just telling us about what this feelsometer, the Pakistani fans feelsometer is about, and how's that emo fandom life going for the both of you. Zainab, why don't you start us off?
नहीं वो तो गुरु हैं, हम मुर्शिद लोग हैं भाई, वो पहले उनकी तो वर्ल्ड फेमस फील्स हैं 2017 के बाद से, तो हम उनकी मतलब पूजने लगे।
बिल्कुल वर्ल्ड फेमस फील्ड कैसे भी नहीं है यार। मैंने ना एक्चुअली पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट को like one of the fascinating things about aging is like cricket actually is something that ages with you, and like your journey with cricket goes through like these phases, right? So पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट में भी यही है कि आप ना with time like mature होते चले जाते हैं, but like cricket is the one thing you sort of hold on to. तो मैं जैसे like the older I've gotten, the feels part of it has become that much more important for me as I've gone on. Like for me it's like the only thing in which like there's this innocent sort of like just blind optimism कि ये तो हम जीतेंगे ही. And like I desperately try to cling on to that feeling throughout. Otherwise there's so much reality in the world, like there's so much reality in life that you like always taking a practical, sensible, realist approach to life. Cricket is the one thing for me jiske andar matlab kya I like really enjoy really shooting for something that is very, very unlikely on the slight hope that it will happen on the day, and when it does, it will be magic.
Zainab?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, feels और vibes यही है कि आप मतलब आपका क्या what you're feeling leading into the game, और कैसे आपके emotions ऊपर नीचे हो रहे होते हैं as the game goes on, or how you've made that association with because no game is in isolation, that game, right? We talk about nostalgia and matlab you say you've gotten over all that loss, but it's still like every game you're watching, some memory somewhere at the back of the mind is still playing. यार फला साल में ये हुआ था, फला साल में ये हुआ था, तब मैंने ये किया था, तब मैंने ये किया था. So it's about how you process the emotions and how you deal with the journey, I guess, of being the Pakistan cricket fan. That's what it means to me. And it's a awkward place to be in, right? Because I look at my family and उनको कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, वो जाएंगे आराम से सो जाएंगे, सुबह उठ के स्कोर चेक कर लेंगे. Even my husband, who is interested, but he won't stay up and stuff, and there was a time when he was, but this is like a really good and bad place to be in, because you're so invested emotionally in something, you're able to enjoy it more, but the downside is that फिर ना जैसे हम बात कर रहे थे ना, हमें पिछले 12 घंटे से ऐसी नींद आ रही थी, ना हम जाग पा रहे थे, मतलब लाइफ का तुक ही नहीं समझ में आ रहा था, टाइम ही नहीं पास हो रहा था. सो it's also a struggle. I mean, especially as I age, I realize that I'm finding it harder to cope with my emotions. पहले जब मैं, when I was probably in Asad, the younger Asad's age, so it didn't, I was able to get on top of my emotions better. Ab to I'm obsessing about it too much. It's like genuine मुझे लग रहा है कि कोई anxiety medication वगैरह लेने की जरूरत है.
Asad, what about you? I know there's plenty of feels on show when you're on Twitter Spaces, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter Spaces or Twitter in general is just a trailer of what I am when I'm watching a cricket match. I mean, I personally think I've shed more tears over Pakistan cricket matches than I have over my own life. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm positive about that. It, like, I don't even have to think about it. I think मैंने genuinely इस team के लिए मैं ज़्यादा रोया हूँ जितना मैं खुद के लिए रोया हूँगा ज़िंदगी में. I am, for me, I think what Pakistan cricket team represents is that I've basically lived my entire life outside of Pakistan, right? So it's sort of like that identity entrenched in that one thing, very Pakistani. Same about music. I know we'll get to that later, but I think it's just one of those things that, you know, keeps you close to you, keeps you grounded in your identity. And it's just something that keeps me going, to be honest. आप लोग देखते हो मैं कितना like obsessively tweet कर रहा होता हूँ and stuff like that. And part of the reason I joined Twitter is because my friends who followed me on Instagram or were friends with me on Facebook, वो पक चुके थे कि भाई तू क्या 24 घंटे क्रिकेट पोस्ट करता है, कोई पीसीबी तेरा नहीं देखा है. एक तो मेरे दोस्तों, like I have 2 or 3 really like my childhood friends from Sharjah, we in our group chat, वो मेरी हर पोस्ट की स्क्रीनशॉट लेके भेजते थे, लाइक हम अभी हम लोग पीसीबी चेयरमैन को ये भेज रहे हैं. तो it was to that level. I go into my Facebook memories into the 2010s. I actually found a very interesting chain of memories from back in 2012 when we were playing Australia in an ODI series. Where it's like, one is like Afridi aa gaya, and it's like, shit, Afridi is gone. Afridi, tu khelta kyun hai? Tu kyun ye karte hai hamare saath? And then it's like, Misbah, please bacha de, and so on. And it's like, it's your tip. It just takes me, but again, as Zainab Appa said, there's so many memories attached to it. Now I can kind of remember what phase of life I was in. When I look at a certain cricket match, I'm like, हाँ, इस वक्त तो ये चल रहा था जिंदगी में.
I think for me, it's actually getting on Pakistan cricket Twitter, which I'm the newest to, I think, in that regard, where I'm sort of getting the feels back. Because in general, for a long time since I've not live with my parents anymore, I'm the only person around me who watches cricket. So it's like, you know, you're just shouting in the dark. It's hard. I think with emotions, it's actually when you can share those emotions that actually the emotions or the feels build up, I think, at least in my view. Just a quick question. So like, we'll get to the game and the music in a sec, but I think somebody wanted to ask, would you all feel comfortable batting or bowling first regarding the game? So why don't we go with you, Asad Bhai?
Yeah, batting first. I think we would need like 175 is what I would be comfortable with. If we are bowling first, I think I'd be comfortable chasing 155, probably.
Zainab, CD?
Yeah, I'm so nervous. I think we should lose the toss ताकि फैसला ही ना करें. So, because I think कुछ भी, if it turns out to be a rain shortened match, so then maybe I am still confused. But apparently weather थोड़ा better हो गया है, तो it might not be that overcast and stuff. So yeah, but I agree with those scores. I don't think that I would be comfortable chasing anything beyond 165. That's what we chased last time, we say.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope we lose the toss, ताकि जो भी हो, we because it would be the worst feeling afterwards के अगर हम toss जीत के ये करते और वो करते तो हम जीत जाते. इसलिए I hope we lose the toss.
Unlike the UAE, where it's pretty clear that what you're supposed to do when you win the toss, it's not exactly clear here. What about you, CD?
कुछ भी करा लो, आज हम जीतने वाले. बस.
So much confidence. What is happening? Where do you get this from?
ये मैं बहुत सालों बाद ये कॉन्फिडेंस दिखा रहा हूँ. Last time I showed this much confidence was in 2019 and I ended up quitting cricket after that tournament for a bit.
ये बहुत खराब सीन है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए.
Almost like you should have learned a lesson, but clearly not.
No, it's because it's funny because 2019 wala jo World Cup match tha na, like I remember I had an event that day and I left my house when we were like 110 or something for two. Babar or Fakhar ki partnership ban rahi thi, and I'm like, you know what, this is looking good. I think we can do something. And then I walked over to the train station, which was like 10 minutes away. I get to the train station and we're 125 for 5. And the rest of the day I was so depressed ke mere dost who don't know anything about cricket, they were like dead worried about me. They're like, bhai ho kya gaya? I'm like, this team has broken me from the inside. But also news for you guys, Ashwin is playing most probably.
Okay.
Final nahi hua hai, but like that's what
Holy
Cricket
shit.
posting it. So in
That's
that case, I
big,
definitely don't want us batting first because I don't want to watch Babar and Rizwan playing off spin.
That's a big gamble वैसे from India.
How
Well,
come?
Pakistan अपने matchup से ही खिलाता है, this could work to our advantage. But did Ashwin play in any of the warm-ups?
I'm pretty sure he played one of them
Think
at least.
so.
मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा.
भाई इंडिया ने पत्ता खेल दिया अपना, एक वाइल्ड कार्ड डाल दिया इंडिया ने बीच में अपना फुल फील्ड्स को करते हुए उन्होंने कि अश्विन जो है वो चल जाता है पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट, उन्होंने एक ये वाइल्ड कार्ड खेल दिया है on a sort of what's supposed to be a pacer friendly situation.
यार पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट वाला आई थिंक फैक्टर भी है, बट इट्स ऑल्सो के अगर आप लास्ट ईयर में बाबर रिजवान को देख लो, वो ऑफ स्पिनर्स के सामने बहुत फंसते हैं यार. मतलब माइकल ब्रेसवेल को नहीं खेल पा रहे थे यार.
And don't they consider him to be slightly different than a lot of off spinners these days, where he's good against both left-handed batsmen, right-handed batsmen? Not that we have that many left-handed batsmen, but he's kind of consistent against both. So I don't know. And he also gives you the batting option. What about Sean? Zainab, you said something before we started going live that what's the news
No,
on?
he's fit and he's available. He's playing for sure.
Okay.
यार मैं चाहता हूँ हम थोड़ा वो ना रॉयल रंबल स्टाइल टॉस पे ना बाबर कहते हैं भाई फखर जमान हिज फिट ही इज इन, ऐसा कोई हैवी सा हम भी एक पत्ता खेल लें अपना.
What are the, I mean, predictions? I wasn't going to go into, but you guys are going to, I think you're okay with giving predictions here. Lekin, what are the things you're going to look out for? Like the key matchups or the key phases of the game, the key players? Kya hai?
Shaheen.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like Shaheen chal gaya in his opening overs, the game set है. So that's what I'll go for. A prediction नहीं कर रही मैं. It's too
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with Shaheen is that he's always crucial, but right now there's also the question mark. I'm not worried about his fitness, but I am curious what's his rhythm like. He hasn't bowled in such a long time, and this India comes so soon for him. He hasn't no competitive match until basically this one. Asad Bhai, what are your feels for Shaheen opening spell?
Yeah, I feel like good about that. I mean, I don't have any issues with his opening spell. It's the death over spell which I have a bigger concern over. अफगानिस्तान के अगेंस्ट भी लाइक फॉरवर्ड आई मैं सो गया था उस वक्त मैच लगा के सामने ही, उसमें मार पड़ी उसको थोड़ी बहुत एंड में. बाकी ये है कि वो ओपनिंग ओवर्स में तो इंडिया की भी लाइक दे विल बी लाइक लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट दिस राइट. ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग मैं सोच रहा था कि एक एंड से शाहीन आफरीदी था जब उसने तबाह किया था उनको, बट इनकी दूसरे एंड पे कोई पाकिस्तान नसीम शाह वाज नॉट देयर. Then there was spell Naseem Shah bowled and Shaheen Shah was not there. Now they are bowling together for the first time. And I don't care who you are, having two guys at like 145 clicks, swinging the ball, bowling together for the first time, and both of them have terrorized you in your past sort of 2 out of your last 3 games. सबकी जो है वो थोड़ी-थोड़ी पटती होगी इसमें, right? So that is in many ways, that is a big deciding factor in this game. Is going to be how that little knockout goes. अगर इंडिया जो है वो फर्स्ट करो 8 पर ओवर खेल जाता है वो 4 ओवरों के पीरियड में, then we're in trouble. Like, but अगर इंडिया जो है वो 5 पर ओवर खेलता है और उनका 1 आउट हो जाता है या 2 आउट हो जाते हैं, फिर मतलब we're in the game. So that's a big part to play.
And yeah, even Rauf is going to come in either most likely 5th or 6th over. So it's not even once you get done with those two, with the opening 3, maybe 4 overs. Then you have Rauf coming in the 5th or 6th, most likely. No? What about for India? I mean, I know Bumrah is not there, but they do have some other decent bowling options. I'm guessing Bhuvi is going to start. Arshdeep, Bhuvi, Chaha. Who are the other bowlers you think are going to play, Asad?
So Cricinfo pe to it's looking like Shami is going to be the third one. So I think that's going to leave India a bit light at the death because Arshdeep ke alawa, they don't really have anyone who can. I feel like whoever is going to be on the other end will be targetable from Pakistan's perspective.
And I'm guessing their strategy is going to be take wickets early as well, right? Because their death bowling is a problem, but in opening bowling, I think Arshdeep can swing the ball, left arm swing, and then you have what's his name, Bhuvi. He's usually a wicket taker in the early power play. Zainab, what are your other sort of concerns or questions?
I think we should be mindful ke Hardik Pandya ke hard lengths are he was really good with them in the IPL and we struggle with that length. So in terms of the Indian bowling, he's the one that I wouldn't say fearful to nahi hu, lekin the one that I'm most concerned ke hum फंस जाएंगे वो apart from obviously अब चहल नहीं खिला रहे हैं because चहल को हमने अच्छा खेला था एशिया कप में and अश्विन को खिला रहे हैं तो how we play him would be crucial, but yeah, I think Pandya is going to be crucial too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's come back incredibly well. So I feel bad. One of the people in the comments said he was on the other link this whole time. Just got to this one. Yes, but he was saying, if Naseem does well, maybe we go for him 3 at the top. But we need him at the death. We need at least 1 over from him at the death, right? And the question again that I think has been discussed on Twitter Spaces endlessly, but we can also.
I think Naseem middle overs mein khat kara dega dono apne because for 16 to 20, I'm pretty sure 2 Haris and 2 Shaheen.
You don't think they're going to leave 1 for him at the death as well, Yanni?
Not really. Also toss ho raha hai. I'm just keeping an eye out here.
I think एक music पे सवाल करके जल्दी से
yeah we should probably get going.
India have won the toss.
Yay!
Oh,
that's good. It's a good sign.
I want us to chase.
Shit यार, बैटिंग कर रहे हैं वो पहले, वो बॉलिंग करे पहले.
Yeah, we'll bowl first.
Yeah.
The only person happy is Zainab for some reason.
At least now we won't be able to say अगर हम जीते ना तो वो ये नहीं कह सकते कि आपने टॉस जीत के वो कर लिया था, win the toss, win the game, right? तो अब ये proper win होगा. अगर
नहीं वो भी ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया में वो भी प्रॉपर विन होता है. आई डोंट थिंक that would have been a factor. I think
यहाँ पे टॉस बायस वैसे honestly फर्क कम है.
शिट यार, ये तो 160 पर वही करेंगे 150. क्या मुसीबत है यार, फिर टेंशन में पूरा गुजरेगा पूरा गेम.
अश्विन कराएगा पावर प्ले में एंड हम टुक टुक करेंगे.
यार आई हैव अ लाइटर
पावर प्ले में 80 होगा 10 ओवर्स में और शायद 150 ऑल आउट हो जाए. अगर
I have a question.
मेरी सडनली वाइब्स बिल्कुल डाउन हो गई.
I have a question to lighten up the mood a little bit. मैंने अभी 1 घंटे पहले ट्विटर पे किसी पे पाकिस्तानी फैन की पिक्चर देखी थी जिसने पाकिस्तान जर्सी के पीछे विराट कोहली का नाम लिखा हुआ था. यार मतलब I want to gauge your guys' opinion because as someone who watches football very staunchly, अगर कोई यूनाइटेड फैन ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड पे पहुंच जाए विद ब्लडी मोसला का नाम पीछे लिख के, मैं तो भाई उधर जाके उसको जूते मार दूंगी. मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है बंदा के वैसे हमारे फैंस इतने कम होते स्टेडियम में, ऊपर से ये विराट कोहली का नाम लिख के पहुंच गया है उधर.
The thing that I find interesting is that even the idea of Pakistanis and I think Indians as well wearing jerseys is itself a sort of relatively new idea, right? And it wasn't very popular in Pakistan itself. It might have been actually, my guess would be British Pakistanis who are much used to footballing culture who actually started wearing jerseys much more regularly. And then, but I don't know. For me, it's like most Pakistanis when they go to the stadium, like historically, they don't wear jerseys. They don't wear colored jerseys or any jerseys. But yeah, I found that weird too. I saw you post that. Maybe he's trying to jinx Kohli. That's the only thing I can give him. Inshallah, that's what happens.
नहीं अगर ऐसा हो गया तो हम उसको क्रेडिट दे देंगे पूरा.
I'm thinking we skip the music bit and we do that as a separate podcast properly with Asad Bhai's album. We're going to keep that for today, but I think the nerves before the game doesn't allow this. This was an experiment, but all right, final. I wasn't going to do predictions, but I think that's what we're going to do. Predictions
मैं
for
playing 11s for देख रहा हूँ.
हाँ
फिर
बताओ
क्या-
बताओ बताओ.
तो शर्मा को वो prop 4 तो what we were expecting. Akshar Patel is playing.
Okay.
DK is playing. हाँ Shami और अश्विन खेल रहे दोनों. बाकी तो the usual suspects we were expecting. Pakistan, Haider is playing.
चलो जान में जान आ गई.
And no Fakhr, huh? No WWE.
नहीं, शान और वो हैं. And
we're playing 3 fast bowlers, eh?
हाँ Shaheen, Rauf, Naseem.
Chalo yaar, let's wrap up and get into the game mode.
Chalo, this was a fun experiment. I'll try to do better next time. Maybe we need to do it slightly earlier, not this close to the game.
Yeah, especially with India-Pakistan game.
Yeah. Stress.
लेकिन कितने लोग देख रहे थे मैं 4 what was that
15 16 20 एक वक्त थे.
oh good यार 20
मैंने वो भी
थोड़ा
गलत लिंक दे के भी. चलो.
All right, guys. Good luck.
All right. Take
Okay.
care. Bye.
Bye.